Hey,
How you doing? All right?
good, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Oh, hold on. I've got Stuart popping on as well. Ah, this is good. Okay, you've got some morning, Stuart.
Good morning, Elaine. How are you?
Thanks. How are you doing?
Doing good.
That's good. Stuart meet Adrian. Adrian meet Stuart. Not that you can see his face.
I'll turn my camera on. Hang on, if I can figure it out. I'm working from home on my laptop, and so I don't have a separate webcam.
Ah, you're not on your gym jams, are you?
No, I'm not.
Brilliant. Cool. Adrian, do you want to pull your start tell me from the beginning because you've done a little campaign, haven't you? With the little receivers. That's right,
That's
isn't
right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So we got there. So basically, when I joined the company, we'd already purchased these items. So it's something we probably wouldn't normally have purchased, but we're keen to try to convert them into sales, basically. So we've tried lots of different things. Obviously, we've done some stuff on LinkedIn. We've obviously done an offer. We've sent out to the Survey Association members.
it?
We've done a thing with GeoMaras.
Yeah.
So we've done a little bit of sort of promotion about them, but we
Okay.
get very little or no interest in them. I think the problem is, in hindsight, I'm a bit more experienced now, but that market is saturated, and I would say the product we've got is a bit like, I would say, you've got the popular brands, Top Gun, you've got Trimble, you've got StoneX, you've got Leica. So they're the big main manufacturers, and a bit like people in their phones, people get stuck in the ways of using something they're familiar with. Like, I'm an Apple fan. I've got a work Android and I hate Android, but I'm just used to Apple. So it's
Yeah.
very similar with GNS receivers. People are used to using something and they're very reluctant to switch brand unless, they fall out or something happens. Or
Yeah. Okay. Have you done your foundations homework?
I have not.
Ah, okay. Right. So Stuart can tell you all about this, understanding the buyer. I can tell you this now. So, right. Okay. So let me just let me see if I can get it on here. Actually, it might be easier for me to share my screen. Okay. So Stuart's a surveyor, so this is good.
Okay.
So
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, yeah.
he can give you some.
Get Stuart's perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just bring your email up.
So I answered some of the questions you mentioned. So obviously we would be selling to land surveyors. That would be the people using it. I think also in the UK, I'm right to think it might be different in the US, but in the UK they don't tend to use GNS receivers in the same way they use in other countries. Here they probably use a total station. So again, it's not, obviously we use it. We know people that use them as base stations for drones. That's another thing people use them for. But and actually surveying, you don't see, like I said, the popular brands are the ones that dominate the UK. So
Yeah. Okay. No, we can get down to the nitty gritty of this.
yeah.
Let me just pull up this email. Okay. So
Is this
is
sorry, Elaine? Is this what you had posted in school, Adrian?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So hold on, let me just pull this on here. Right. Okay. So a few things that you need to do as homework, Adrian. You need firstly, you definitely need to go back and go into your foundations section. And then what I want you to do is I want you to look, especially at that whole module is really good because that sets the tone. The first part is about your mission and vision, so where you're actually headed. Okay.
Yeah.
Come back to that bit, but go through, I think it's 3 and 4 and 5 in the foundations module. That's talking about your market and your buyers. Okay.
Yeah.
So what most people do is they send out a lovely, actually, which screen am I sharing? Am I sharing what can you see?
I can see your Zoom. It says Zoom.
Oh, okay, wrong one. Hold on. This is one I wanted to share. Okay, so 99% of the people, they actually sell this to anybody.
Yeah.
So the way you've got this product highlighted at the moment, it's like product highlight, right? Supports 576 channels, right? 16 gigabyte internal storage. 4G, 3G, blah, blah, blah. free TC50 controller, bundle offer. I have no idea. I'm a surveyor. I have no idea if this is for me. Do I get the Topcon one? Do I get the Leica one? Is there a different brand? So straight away, you have generalized that post. I'm going to pick on you now.
That's fine. That's great. That's good. I like being picked on. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is, who is the buyer? Who is this? Who is this person aimed at? Who would you sell? What problem is this solving? For a start, so that's your number one question. Okay. Do you know?
No.
Okay. So you need to figure out, this product will have a specific buyer. Don't ask the manufacturer because they have no bloody idea either.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out who this buyer, who the ideal buyer is for this product.
Mm-hmm.
What keeps this buyer up at night? So we're doing this a bit, as the saying goes, this is arse about tit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Firstly, if you look at the products you sell and do, right, you need to pick between 4 and 5 buyers that you sell to. Okay? Because looking at this is the next part. So understanding the buyer, go through the buyer persona exercise, do it with Lily.
Yeah.
And even with your other colleagues. So you want to figure out who your main buyers are, what their characteristics are, what keeps them up at night. Now, I had a brilliant one. I was in Chicago 3 weeks ago, and I was talking to they were selling total station scanners, all sorts to building surveyors, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up with 3 main personas. We had the big company guy, what kept him up at night. And when I asked this question and they went and asked their sales team, everybody started laughing. What? Don't know what keeps him up at night. Okay, so big company man, right? He's got, say, 50, they call them robots in the States. So 15 robots, 15 total stations, combination of maybe a few scanners, whatever. Big projects for a start. So what keeps this guy up at night? Oh, well, downtime. Time on site if they don't get the equipment delivered in time. They don't say that the equipment goes down. So because the team I was dealing with was a service and support team, so they were trying to sell more software, more service packages, this company. So I said, right, what keeps this guy up at night? So we wrote down this guy's profile. Well, actually, if he has downtime, he is knackered, and he's probably on a budget, and he's probably on a bonus system where that if he has downtime, because it will be cost him hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars if he has downtime. Whereas the one-man band surveyor that they actually work with, he goes out with his own robot on site, so he's looking after it. So he might not necessarily want the service package, right? Because he's looking after it himself. It's his baby. Whereas the big guy, it's all the staff that don't give a shit about the product. So if a product dies on them and they haven't got quick service like that and replacement of the product, then that's an issue. Now, bearing in mind that's one type of buyer persona. So going back to your buyers, you need to understand who your 4 or 5 main buyers are and work out. So that exercise will ask you questions, work out characteristics, what keeps them up at night, what do they worry about, what is the problem. So what is some of the main problems that each of these buyers will have? Now, what you'll find is one buyer will overlap slightly with another buyer, but you will have very much distinctive people. Okay. They call them avatars, buyer personas in marketing terms. So by understanding that, then as you get through the course, you'll come to the content section, and it talks about your buyers, it talks about your customer journey, and it talks about your influencers on that journey. So you have gone straight in and promoted this product highlight, right? But it's not targeted at anybody. Because your audience, even though this might be ideal for them, they can't tell the difference between this and a Topcon. A Leica. They have no idea. And so then what you're focusing on then is pure on price. So Go away, do the homework. Then you see what you'll happen then is you'll flip this. So where it says product highlight, that will say a strap line. Do you have an issue with XYZ?
Yeah.
Then there'll be a bit of blurb about how this will actually save them XYZ.
Yeah.
Then it will go into the details. Price is this. And you'll have a much better conversion rate then.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. And how does it work? Because obviously so at the moment we do it with Lily. So Lily obviously does our marketing and we kind of work together on stuff. Obviously she's a contractor that we use as like a monthly retainer. I know that she started some of the course because obviously I've answered questions about the mission statement and you've given some tips, which I've then relayed back with Lily on.
Yeah.
So how do I go and do the bits that I need to do here in terms of this product?
So what I would suggest, when's Lily next in?
I'm not sure if I'm honest. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Okay, so if she's in tomorrow, sit down together and go through that course together.
Yeah.
And because it's practical and you'll have to do it, then you'll sit down, then you write out some of the different buyers. And then you go, right, oh, okay, then there's this guy. So at the moment in your head, who's a really good customer you'd like more of?
So funny enough, we've sold some of these units in the past to a customer of ours called A2C, and they use them. I think they're using them to do when they're doing land surveying of beaches and things like that.
Okay. And what problem are they solving with this product?
I think where they are, what they do is they use it as a base and rover situation. So they have one as the base and then one as the rover, because obviously they can't get signal where they are, and that's why they have that kind of setup, and that's why it kind of works for them. Okay. So if we could get more people like that, that would be good. And then I think it's similar to what you were saying before. We either have, so we sell to land surveyors. So these are either going to be one-man bands or surveying companies within large construction, or companies that have their own surveying department within a big construction company or something. That's kind of how I think the bar might be for this product. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I would suggest is piece of paper.
Yeah.
Write down that customer.
Yeah.
Start with somebody you know, because when you start with somebody you know, it's easy to understand what their personality is.
Yeah.
The traits are, what problems, what gets them mad, what gets them happy.
Yeah.
You write it all down, just scribble it all down on a bit of paper. Then if you have another buyer and you think, slightly different person, one-man band or big company, write that person down.
Yeah.
Because don't think about that at the moment. Don't think about your product highlight at the moment. You need to think about who the buyer is.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you understand the buyer, then the other stuff comes a lot simpler. This is the absolute basics that you need to do first.
Yeah.
Because then it'll make selling the product simple.
No, that sounds good.
Okay.
So, Adrian, one thing, when I saw this in school, this post in school, first thing that came to mind was how, other than price, how is this any better, or does it compare to Trimble, which is what I use? And that would be a big selling point to a surveyor. If it does the exact same things as what my Trimble equipment can do at 1/10 of the price, I might look at it a little bit more. But just looking at price without knowing the capabilities of it and the comparison, that's a hard thing to wrap your head around when you're already familiar with the big manufacturer and what they can do. So like Elaine said, that buyer persona, maybe interview that survey company that has bought some from you and see how or why they bought it and how it has made their workflow either the same or even better than the big manufacturers. And then you can put those testimonials on your marketing campaign, and hopefully that helps. But that's what I think I would do.
Yeah, no, that's really helpful, Stuart. I mean, my understanding is the Oscar element that we're talking about here is the same as a Trimble R12i and has the same functionalities. I think this also has a tilt function, which I think the i does, but I think the R12 didn't. So it's basically the same thing, but a lot more cost effective. So that's why it's sort of there to sort of come in the market and give those sort of bigger book guys a run for their money to be able to offer the same features basically. But that's really good. I like the idea of the case study with the existing customer. That's a really good idea, Stuart.
And I know you're new to the program, but that is one of the other lessons in there too, to interview customers and know what their pros and cons, or what how you can help them, good or bad, kind of a thing.
That's really good. That's really helpful. Thank you.
That'll just give you, there's a bit of donkey work in there because you'll have to go out. And one of the things that I would suggest to do is, if you do a survey with your customers, also do a survey with them on a one-on-one basis. So setting up something like Zoom like this, or going to see them and just sit down and say, right, I've got several questions. I just want to download your brain.
Yeah.
Because you'll have a couple of those customers that you can get loads of information off. They'll tell you, the truth of what they see in your product, which is great. You need that to move it forwards.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Any other questions about that?
No, that sounds good so far. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So I think go away and do some homework. Go back through the buyer personas. So if Lily's in tomorrow, just spend 1 or 2 hours just going through that section.
Yeah, cool. Because I guess we can swap in and out, right? Because obviously there'll be bits that won't be relevant for her, but she need me to do, if you know what I mean, and then and stuff like that. So this sounds good.
So from her perspective, your marketing will she will suddenly double in what she does with hits, visitors, people landing on your pages, buying from you when you get the foundations right.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because again, Stuart again did something really interesting. If you go down in school, you'll see one of the posts that I put on. So one of the things that Stuart did, I'm going to pick on Stuart now. He was just saying, "Oh, we're surveyors, but buy from us. This is what we do. X, Y, Z." And I'm like, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. The customer cares about them. They don't want to hear all that. So Stuart then flipped it, didn't you, Stuart?
Yeah, because I think you told me in one of these meetings, they don't give a shit. They could care less about you and your company. They want to know how it benefits them.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing on the equipment side.
Yeah.
How does it benefit the customer? The name doesn't mean anything. It's how it benefits the customer.
So Stuart's, what did that one post actually get to in the end?
Ooh, I'll have to look it up. I don't remember.
It was something like 20 or 30,000 impressions, wasn't it?
Wow.
Something like that, yeah.
So with that when that starts to happen, so Lily will see then a difference in the content. And then the trick then is that you get them onto landing pages. Then landing pages convert them into prospects, marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, and sales. That's all to come in GMA. So get the basics done first, then come back and we can talk about more.
Perfect. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, Elaine.
Very welcome.
Elaine, that one was almost 40,000 impressions.
Wow.
And 71 reposts.
That is bonkers.
Yeah.
What's that done for you, that post?
I don't know. I haven't been able to track it very well, but I know there's some local, like, Facebook groups for the local communities, and people ask, similar to the one I posted yesterday about the boundary line disagreements or disputes. They're asking questions like, hey, I have this issue, who do I call? And I have some employees that are on those other Facebook groups, and they said there's a lot of people on there saying, oh, call Dioptra. And so I think the word of mouth is getting out there. I can't tell for sure how many of those are actually calling us.
Yeah.
But I know our name's getting out there at least.
Okay.
Which is a thing.
You now need a mechanism to track that.
Yeah, when I talk to the customer, I try to ask them how they found us or how they learned about us, kind of a thing. And so I can do that personally, but I need everyone else that answers the phone to do the same thing, or send out a like a survey, end of project survey kind of a thing that asks how they found us and what they did or didn't like about our product and our services and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things I would suggest you do from now on is having your posts, and you don't have to have them in every single post, but you need some kind of landing page URL that takes them to for some just basic information related to the subject you're talking about. And then on that page, there'll be a lead capture form. So it's either sign up to our newsletter, find out about more information, download this white paper. So when you posted that about the boundary survey dispute, I was laughing. I was like, yep. So one of the things no surveyor does is nobody does a webinar to the general public about boundaries.
Right.
So one of the things you could do is do a webinar for the buyer persona of a house, even the construction company builder, or actually to educate the house buyer on don't fall into this trap of boundary disputes like this person did. This would have to probably go on something like Facebook, not necessarily LinkedIn. Instagram, Facebook, because most General Joe blogs will be on there. They can sign up to that webinar, and it'll be a free webinar on how not to get into that shit. What to look out for. And then they can either do two things. They can either book a call with you guys for a free consultation. So that's the people that are in that specific place right now. But the other thing is, could be a white paper. Download this white paper, which has everything in it about what to ask when they're buying a new property. So you're arming them automatically with the questions they can ask their builder.
Gotcha. Okay.
So from there,
on the webinar, is it a live thing, you think, or a pre-recorded?
Yeah. Live. Do it live.
So then there's like a live Q&A at the end or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a live, yeah. And even if your first one just brings in 20 people, doesn't matter. You build on that. Because again, if you talk about word of mouth, that will soon grow. Because nobody, I've never ever seen a surveyor do that, ever. So you'll be in, that is innovative thinking from a surveyor's point of view.
It's also terrifying, Elaine.
It's not.
It is. It is. Okay, this is why it's terrifying for me. It's different on these kinds of calls because it's a very much interactive type.
Yep.
To do a presentation without any interaction throughout the presentation scares the crap out of me.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
I know. I just need to suck it up.
Yeah, you can do a dummy run. I'd do a dummy run. So you can actually, you could do one with, hold on a minute. Keys?
Car keys.
Oh, it must be in the car. Sorry, it's my husband just come back. Lost the car keys, must be in the house. What was I saying? You could do a dummy run with just some colleagues and a couple of friends if you wanted to do it really basic. And if you wanted to, I'm being mean on you making it live because it is much more fun when you do it live, but you could pre-record the presentation and then you sit in the background answering questions on the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Could do it now.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just, I'm not trying very hard to get my camera working today because cameras kind of scare me because I always feel like I look weird on a camera. I don't know why.
You don't.
So,
you get used to yourself.
Well, I haven't done it as much as you have, so it's terrifying.
No. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I did that, I was on the stage at Hexagon Live. God, I pooed my pants. You should have seen it. It was so awful. Like, they put you in this like room before. I was on the keynote speaker for Hexagon Live, Adrian. So with the survey group, yeah. So there was, I was like, I couldn't eat my lunch. Everybody's like, I've never seen you like this, Elaine. I went, yeah, petrified. I mean, small little stages are fine, but you go on a stage with 1,000 people in front of you, on a big stage with lights in your face, you're like, so, but it's like anything, it's exposure, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're exposed to it, that helps, doesn't it? So I would fix up a dummy run one and have a go.
Okay.
It's a
I think it's a great idea, because and it's not just to the homeowners what I'm thinking, because like that case that I posted, that was a builder telling the homeowner where their property was.
Yeah.
But we run into real estate agents telling people where their property is too. And that's a whole nother issue that's 10 times worse than a builder, I think.
Yeah. So there, I'll just show Adrian the post, but no, not that one. That one. Yeah. So you've got 2 buyer personas there. You could do one with the building guys first. You could do a second one with the estate agents. I can never say that word that you use, realtor. Estate agent, it's easier. And then you could do one then with Joe Blogs. So if you're comfortable dealing with the builders, do one with the builders.
Okay.
Ask a couple of your building guys, would they be interested to know how to solve that issue before it actually becomes an issue? What to look for. And so if they're hiring a surveyor, say they're not hiring you, but you're giving all the juicy information, and they're hiring a guy down the road, what to ask that surveyor? Because if you think about it, even if they're using your competitor, it doesn't matter. You're providing the information, so you're building trust. So they will automatically come back to you at some point anyways.
Right.
So there's a book. I'm really good with books. Where is it?
And Elaine, when you did your presentation, once you started doing it, you felt better, you felt good afterwards. I mean, it's normally the fear of doing it is worse than doing it. Is that right? Or
yeah, it's the build up.
Yeah.
So this morning I so we're working with a company called GeoBiro in Bosnia. They're a point cloud processing company, want to do outsourcing they do a few companies at the moment, like Murphy Service in the UK. But they want to do loads more, and we're rolling out their webinar series for them. They're absolutely petrified. Also, they've got to do it in English, and that's not their first language. So things like, the fears of outsourcing your scan data, which I think is going to be it's going to be inundated with people wanting to watch it, because nobody's ever done that before. But I literally went through everything with them, and because me and Hannah are going to be on the webinar with them, so there's another thing, Stuart. You could always invite me to come on your webinar with you. I can introduce people. So with Hannah's really good. She'll go like, hello, everybody. Oh, welcome, Frank. Welcome, Todd. Welcome, David. Nice to see you. Put your name in the chat. Say where you're from. Put it in the chat. So you always have somebody who's like chatting away. And it's like, right, I'd like to introduce you to Stuart. And Stuart's now going to present. And it's maybe 5 slides. We're going to talk about X, Y, Z and a myth buster. And at the end of it, we'll send you a white paper on how to make sure that you don't get into this sticky situation in the future. So that on a webinar series is huge lead generator, huge, because it's people there. Anybody who signs up for a webinar, it's a marketing qualified lead. So that means that they're interested to know what you have to say. The next stage, in fact, I drew it out the other day because we were talking about it. So you've got prospect, contact, you've got your webinars and stuff like that, which gives you your qualified lead. And then you've got your sales qualified lead, where they go, actually, I'd like a consultation, please, Stuart, or can you quote me for this job? So that's where then they become a sales qualified lead. So then, Stuart, you'll be able to then track it where these people have come from. So that post that you did that got stupid amount of impressions, if there was a call to action on that post, because at the moment you don't know where it's gone, there's people talking, that's good, but you need some mechanism that they go, oh, click, and it could have been a click to something else. Because a lot of people as well, how many people checked out your profile afterwards?
A lot.
Yeah. So when you went through that, people who checked you out, was there any new people in there that weren't customers that you were like, they could be a customer?
There was a few. There was a few, yeah. But I got a lot of new LinkedIn connections through it for sure.
Yeah. So that's good.
So.
And it's not echoing what Elaine says, Stuart. Like anyone that takes their time out has got some level of interest. I mean, we did an in-person demo for our LiDAR recently, and we probably had, I think, 9 people attend, and then maybe 3 out of that are seriously interested in purchasing. So people aren't going to do it. They're busy lives. They're not going to take time out if they're not at some level of interest. Okay, you're going to get a mixture of people, aren't you, in their journey? Like we had some older surveyors that didn't really know what a drone was and weren't really going to get into technology, but they were interested to find out about it, to people that were actually at the point of purchasing. So anyone that takes time to sign up is going to have a level of interest for sure. Otherwise, they wouldn't sign up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true. That's a good point.
So that's going into that the qualification process. That's your sales pipeline. So yeah. So Stuart, when we're going to do our first webinar then?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I can't set a date.
Why don't you
I need at least a month to put something together.
No, you don't.
Sure I do.
You do it in the next 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah. What's the top? Give me a topic. What's the topic called?
I have no idea. See, that's why I need time to think about it.
So you're just on about these boundary disputes. Why don't you call it myth busting, or why don't you call it something like don't fall into the trap of getting your property wrong, or boundary surveys, or no, not surveys, because they probably wouldn't know what surveys are, but boundary disputes. Do you fall into this trap? Mythbuster. How to not fall into this trap of boundary disputes before they happen, and why. There you go.
That's a good idea.
And then from there,
I guess I have to figure out a way to get people to sign up for it, right? Like, how do I do that without a landing page or and I don't even remember what the program's called, where you can, like, Calendly, I think is what it is.
Calendly, yeah. So what I would suggest you do is, have you got Zoom?
Yes.
Have you got Zoom webinar?
No.
Right, so go into your Zoom account and buy the webinar series. I think you get 500 a month. 500 a webinar, I think it is, people. I think that's the minimum one. So buy the webinar. It's not hugely expensive. I think we pay £70 a month for webinar and Zoom. So it'd be something similar, 70, 80 bucks, something like that a month, maybe $100 a month or something. So sign up for that and set up your webinar through that. And then what I would just do is then there's 2 ways of doing it. Do you use MailChimp?
No.
Is your website on WordPress?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, get your web guy to set you up a landing page.
Okay.
And then that landing page will incorporate the Zoom link. The web guy should be able to do it. So it's straight into there, or it could actually I think actually Hannah's done it where you do straight into Zoom, actually, you get a URL for it. I can double check with her actually. But what we've done is we have a landing page. So let me show you ours so you can have a look. So ours is on WordPress. So this is your funnel. Class this as a funnel. So, so this is the landing page. And it's got a bit of blurb, 25-minute presentation. Here's the questions or bullet points. And then this could be the link. This could be the link here. Put in your information. It sends you straight to the sign-in page for Zoom. And that's your lead capture form.
Okay.
So then you can produce several posts with snippets of the content that you're going to share. And then 2 weeks before your webinar, 2 weeks is usually about right, you start posting daily tips, myth busters, comments, sign up for our webinar. Da, 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 da. And with Zoom, I'll show you my Zoom. We've just so clicking webinar. This was test webinar. And here, then you've got your details that you fill it all in. But the great thing about the webinar series, the webinar section, hold on a minute, go back again. Is at the bottom. So this is what's quite nice. Even though Zoom is quite basic, it's really simple if you don't have a fancy web company that can do your fancy landing pages all the time. So then, and also then you can set up things like email replies, send an hour a day, a week before, so reminders. So when people sign up for it, it automatically reminds them. So that's also
that's nice.
attention. Yeah. Because usually, like, I use that quite a lot because it's simple. But if you have a MailChimp account, for example, that can automatically nurture your leads. So every time somebody registers, they can be nurtured on different content pieces. But for now, keep it basic. So having a Zoom that's set up, and then that goes straight to that landing page on Zoom, because you just fill all this in when you do all this. So you fill all the content in, and then it's registered as the webinar. And then your web guy can just take that webinar and stick it in a URL for you, and you can go straight onto that webinar landing page.
Okay.
What I might do is record that setup, because I did it for Dino the other day, and I just recorded the setup process in Zoom.
Yeah, that'd be good, because then I can know exactly what to do. And then and then it's just getting with my web guy for the landing page after that, right?
Yeah. So with the landing page, you want to send, so you've got your social post, that's your top of the funnel. Yeah. So yeah. You see the border, right?
Yeah.
Have your funnel like that. This is your socials on your buyer personas, right? So you have all the right people that you want to speak to. Okay, so you know all their language, you know all their stuff. So that goes out on socials on a frequent basis. So then some of them have a call to action, which is sign up webinar. Okay, so you want to get them into that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from here, so that's your MQL, marketing qualified lead, which is this here. And then your sales qualified lead is then at the end of your webinar, your call to action could be sign up for a call with a consultation with us. So then you could use Calendly, or they could just say, yeah, here's my email, sign me up. So you can ask the question. Yeah. So then you've got a tracking process, so you know what's happening here to bring them into here and what's converting them. And the great thing about it is, say that you get 20 people on here, you go, okay, right, we want to do 40 people next time. So what do we need to do more of up here to build awareness, to bring them into here?
Gotcha. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just, all it is it's just a process. You just got to have, oh, where have you gone? Oh, there we are. You just got to have the content and talk about the content in the top of the funnel. Because everybody thinks, oh, one post or 2 posts enough a week. Before a webinar, post every day. You want to hear people going, God's sake, it's annoying me. Great. That means you're seeing it all the time. And that's where you can change out the content and pictures. People love pictures. Videos are the big one to like get attraction. So you can actually interview some of you guys, or get some of you guys to do like a little, so what is a big pain in the ass when we get a customer that's got a boundary dispute already? For God's sake, they should have phoned us beforehand. Right? So then if you ask the question, get it on video, get it online, that's a great piece of content.
Okay.
That boundary disputes one was really good. I think that'd be a really good webinar to do. Estate agents especially, because they're clueless. Bloody clueless.
Yeah. They're frustrating, that's for sure. And I have a lot of friends that are real estate agents. So but when it comes to boundary stuff, they have no clue.
No. So educate. Is it quite a lucrative market for you?
It comes and goes, but yeah, it depends on the overall economy and how the housing market is, but it can it can be pretty lucrative, and then it can just not be there at all.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So maybe you do a test run start with the estate agents. My computer's been really weird. I've got a dodgy screen. That's better. Yeah, you've got 3 different buyers there: end users, people buying houses, estate agents or realtors, and was it
builders?
Builders.
Okay.
So whoever you feel comfortable first with, aim the webinar at them. And then you've got a mechanism for your lead capture. And then you go, so this webinar brought in 50 people and we got 3 sales out of it. Then you also have a benchmark. So 50 people equals 3 sales. So you know that you need 100 people to get 6 sales.
Okay.
That's for another lesson.
and because of the essentially call to action on the social, you can see how they signed up for the webinar, whether it was from a social post or from somebody else telling them about it. They came in from another method.
Yeah,
right?
so you'd have so say if it's Facebook, where does your realtors hang out? Is it LinkedIn or do they Facebook as well?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them I think that I know of are on Facebook.
Okay. So try 3 or 4 different social platforms. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter or Threads or something. Try that. And then in your Google Analytics, it will show you where the people have come from on that landing page.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. You don't need to know the nitty gritty, but you'll see, the majority of people have come through Facebook, clicked onto that page. And also Google Meta will show you on the back end stuff as well with the analytics on there. but then what you want is then signing up. So if you know that the most traction has come from Facebook, then you end up just increasing that. So for example, that's where you think, right, if I just put some paid ads on here, that might be an idea then to then boost it.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I think keep it simple. Do a load of posts beforehand. So write the content first. Who's the target? What is the topic? Content. Have it at the end of Dummy ROM at the end of October. You've got a whole month. And I want to see it, and then you can invite me and I'll come on. Don't do it late in the afternoon when you guys are asleep, when I'm asleep and you guys are asleep.
No, I think you get more I feel like you get more traction in the mornings here.
Okay.
Between 9 and 11 o'clock.
Yeah, perfect. I can be on that. So Stuart's up in Idaho. Oh, by the way, I'm not coming to RCN now.
What?
I can't do it all. I've had I was so tired when I came back from Chicago, and poor Matthew.
Oh man.
He sent me a message. I'm bummed, Elaine. I'm like, that's a really bad word to use over here. I was like, I can't do it all. I'm just knackered. So I'm in Germany next week, you see, at InterGeo. So yeah, so he's gutted. But I'm going to go to Geo Week. So we'll have to hold on. I know it's your birthday week. We'll have to hold on your birthday party, and then we'll have to go out for dinner when I see you.
Are you there? I lost you.
Oh, you've come back really clear.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. My headphones died and I lost you there.
All right. I was just saying about, I know it's your birthday week, so we'll have to do it another time.
Okay. Well, I was hoping to pick your brain some more at RCN on some of this stuff, but we'll have to do it another time.
You're going to go to Geo Week?
When's that one?
I think it's February.
Oh, that's in Denver, right?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Okay. I'll keep you posted, but I did say to Matthew, I do promise I will come next year to his conference. It was all ready to go and everything, and I've had a couple of little things happen here, and people Erin couldn't attend into Geo, and then there's all sort, yeah. So I just thought, you know what, I need to just not be crazy.
I was gonna say, you've got a busy couple of weeks if you're going InterGeo and then Idaho, and then who knows what else after that, and then are you going to Dimensions?
No, Trent's going to go instead.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you were going to Dimensions, you've got a crazy 6 weeks.
I've just had a crazy 6 weeks. So yeah, but that's fine. We'll meet up at some point. Yeah. Right. Any other questions from you guys? Homework.
No, I'm all good. I'll be into InterGeo, Elaine, so I'll probably catch you there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That'll be good.
That's the big one, right? In Europe, is that the big show?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going because not to exhibit, but to visit, and then obviously support our manufacturers that are there.
You're going the whole week?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you want, there's a big crowd of us on Tuesday night going out for dinner. If you want to join us.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
About 15 people going out to the steakhouse. So if you let me know, how's 2 of you coming?
Just me, but I'll probably just me. Yeah.
Okay. I'll add you on. Yeah. There's loads of GeoByro guys. I think there's 15 of us all together. So I'll book you in on the for steak dinner on Tuesday night.
Sounds good. Can't turn that down. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's done that. People, that's fine. Yeah. I've got 2 speaking events as well there. So I've got marketing disasters. I haven't written the bloody presentation yet. So how you definitely should have landing pages. And I'm doing a talk about Getkin's survey. So
yeah, it'd be exciting. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's good. Right, Stuart.
Okay, I'll let you know.
I want to see this event published in the next week.
Okay, I got homework to do.
Got homework to do. Just do it. Just don't think about it. Just do it.
It's like being at school, Stuart, isn't it?
What's that?
It's like being at school. I feel like we're in detention.
I know. Get in trouble and you have all this extra homework to do.
Yeah, but the best thing is when you start seeing sales and you're like, oh my God, this shit works.
Yeah. Damn it, Elaine knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, cool. Right, guys, I've got another call to jump onto, but yeah, keep me posted. Stick stuff in school. If you've got any questions, either of you, put it in school and we can answer it.
Okay,
thanks, Ben.
sounds good.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Take care, guys.
Right.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.